Your best learning is going to come when you're off of social media. I swear to you, it will happen. When you stop worrying about what everybody else thinks about you and what you're worried about everybody else is doing, what they drive, what they spent, how much they make, that's the biggest fucking lie you're ever going to see. Nobody's coming out there and telling you what they're really making. They're not. They're not going to do that. Because as soon as they do that, guess what they did? They set the mile marker right there. Boom. Well, let's check in on him in 3 months and see where he's at. Oh, his account's going. Well, got rid of Twitter. I guess he's in drawdown. Or the folks that put their MyFX book up, and they're educators. And they want to go on other people's podcasts and talk about people that can improve, that can make winners out of other people. And they're in drawdown. There's 2 pathways with me. You find my stuff, you do the work, or attempt to do the work, and you find yourself. And you become a very, very disciplined, precision-oriented trader. That part takes time. Or you're going to come in and say, this is too hard. Let's shit on ICT. Let's blame him. Let's talk about his bullshit. Let's focus on that and not the fact that you suck. You couldn't do the work. You tapped out. You're going to see a whole lot of that after November. YouTube channel's going to creep in and pop up all the time. All right, man. ICT's out of here now. Let's talk shit. Let's get ad revenue on talking shit about ICT. And guess what? You're the little bitches that couldn't do it. That's who you are. It's not that stuff doesn't work. And I never promised it was going to be easy. It would be easier with me sharing my experience, saying, this is where the market's going to go next. And focus on what it is I taught. With that, that's the easiest I can do. Except for make the trades for you. That's not going to happen. Prop firms, funded account companies. I don't have a horse in this race. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about none of them. They're never going to get me to go into their company. They're never going to get me to do any kind of affiliate. And I don't really personally care if they're successful or if they fail. I'm completely outside of it. So that means I'm objective. I'm curious. I'm curious to know what it's going to be like in 2024, 2025, 2026 for any of these companies that survive. When some of you that are listening to this today, you're going to find yourself. And you're going to use the information that I've taught and will be teaching. And you're going to become a fucking wrecking machine. And some of you just want to see how much you can beat the shit out of brokerages and funded account companies. Will they start banning my students because they're beating the fuck out of them? I'm curious to know that. I'm curious to know. That's one of the things I'm sitting back and watching and see what impact. Because I know I have students that come in and they champion the banner of ICT and say, hey, I'm an ICT student, I'm a this, I'm a that. And they may not do well because of the mental hurdles that trading with real monetary loss brings with it. That's why it's real important that you don't rush into this, because you can get lost in transition. It's a whole lot of learning that goes on between your last demo trade and the discovery that you are consistently profitable with real money. See, you think it's just a couple trades between that. It's a month at most. Can't be more than that because shit, trading's easy. But if it's so easy, why are we so hard pressed to see the people producing results outside of our community? Now, I know some of you out there, but so-and-so, I understand. I'm not saying we're not the only profitable community. More public students have shown they need. I have a privacy agreement with the students. Unless they make themselves publicly known, I can't say, hey, this person has made this and this person's my student. I don't do that. But just about everybody you worship on social media, they've gone through my shit. I'll just say it like that. And that's not me bragging. I'm just saying that this industry is now a test tube. I want to see what happens. I want to see what giants come up in it, because they've been among us. They're quiet right now. I have a few right now that are absolutely fucking bonkers. They are literally freaks. So fucking good. So fucking good. And one wants to step out there next year. What happens when several hundred, couple thousand said, you know what? I'm going to go into these prop fund accounts and do this and do that. Are they going to accuse them of doing something? Are they going to say, you're making too much money, you're a danger to our business model? It's not fun being tapped on the shoulder and says, you can't do this. You can't play here. I got a chip on my shoulder because of it. So if I get denied, I'm going to bring an army. And it's out of the bag now. You can't stop it. You can't stop what's already been set in motion. There is a wave of giants and titans that are going to be using what you have learned here. And they're going to be major pillars in this industry. And I'm hoping that even with the fucking craziness of my bipolar rants and shit, and the frailty as a human that I have to deal with every time I talk to you, that the intended target for me was reached, and I make a better version of me in you. That's what I want. I want it with my children, and I want it with you, my extended family. I want you to do better than me. And many of you have so many more advantages than I do. And I want that. I want to see that happen. And I want to be quietly in the comfort of my own privacy and solitude again, observing you again, not interacting as much, and then watching you all slowly grow to your perfect success story. And some of you climbing to heights that nobody's seen before. I can't wait to watch you do that. And you don't have to be cheerleading my name all the time. Yeah. I just want to give a shout out to ICT. You don't stop. Enjoy your fucking moment. You worked for it. You earned it. The conversation is not about me anymore. I've done, and what I'm about to do is all for you to share with me, and not say, hey, look at ICT. Look, hey, don't forget about ICT. I want to be forgotten. Okay. I want to reduce. I don't want to have all this shit placed on me. I want to sit back and watch the ripples. I threw the stone in a still pond, and I want to see those circles go out and become bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And some of you are wanting to deny me that. Guilting me. Don't leave. I want to. Please don't ask me to stay when I want to leave. I want to. No one's forcing me out of here. I want to be done with it. I want to be a spectator and a private speculator. I don't want everybody having a day-by-day access to me saying, hey, look, what did you do today? What did you think about this? And this is a breaker. Watch the videos. There's people that are climbing up in our community that are very, very versed in what it is I've taught. And they're open. They'll tell you, here's what I've done. Here's what I do. This is what I lost money on. This is what I made money on. These are the things I learned from. These are the painful lessons. And this is the best achievements I've ever received doing this or that. That's who you want to listen to. You don't listen to fucking people drawing the boxes on a chart. Yeah, I took a trade, and this is what my trade looked like. Motherfucker, show us your fucking trade. Record it from the beginning. You're making videos, you're recording your screen after the fucking fact. So why don't you have the fucking recorder running when you're doing the fucking trade? Look at my students. Look at them. They want to do it. They want to shove it up your fucking ass. They want you to come at them and say, I don't believe you took that trade. You can't say that about my students. There's no MT4 fucking horse shit about my fucking students. We're out there stomping mud holes in this shit and walking it fucking dry. And it's pissing people off because they can't keep up. Like I promised. Where's all the fucking success stories with GAN? Where's all the success stories with harmonic fucking animal patterns? Balloon fucking animals. Hot air bullshit. And you watch these other YouTubers that don't even know anything about us, what we do. And they're on there and they're trying sincerely hard to make the stuff that they're trying to place their faith in on a live stream, trying to trade it, and completely oblivious. It's cringy as shit. Listen to somebody that doesn't know what they're doing, right? And you're torn. Either you're an egomaniac and you want to be an asshole and say, dude, like, you need to do this, don't do that. Or you sit back quietly and just watch them from afar wreck themselves. I did that for a long time until I stepped out on Baby Pips. I got tired of seeing people talking out their ass, had no clue what they're doing, and instructing other people about things that they had no idea what it is they're doing. Why price does this and why price does that. Well, nobody can really know what the market is. It's random. You just got to take the statistics and just work with that. Fuck that shit. No way. If I was just trading on statistics and there was no real logic behind what it is I'm trying to do, numbers can be tortured, folks. They'll submit to anything. If you beat them up hard enough, long enough, they will say whatever the fuck you want them to say. But you can't hide inefficiencies in price. They can't hide that. That will always be visible to you. Do you understand that? Do you understand what I just said? As long as you can plot the open, high, low, and close, you will always see inefficiencies. And every joker that comes into this industry and thinks they're going to own the fucking world in 6 weeks because they went through an IML fucking boot camp, learning watered down ICT concepts from fucking clowns that don't know how to fucking trade. They're going to place their stop above a swing high. They're going to place their stop below a swing low. And they ain't going to know shit about what the narrative is and what side is going to go for next. And that's why they teach from the left side of the chart. But you are learning, you are discovering that it's better to place all the emphasis and time of your learning on working on that skill set on that hard right edge, where everybody is scared to step into that. It's scary to walk out in that void of nothingness, that vast span of emptiness, uncertainty. And then you get equipped with what it is I'm teaching you: time and price, algorithmic principles, liquidity and inefficiencies. Understanding that and where is the most likely draw on liquidity. Folks, that's all this is. But so many of you try to bring in extra stuff. Yeah, but I really like volume profile. It really helps me when I use the VWAP. Fuck that shit. It's all bullshit. That is a fucking gimmick. It's no different between a fucking 200-day moving average, a stochastics, CCI, a MACD, histogram, whatever the fuck you want to apply to a chart. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. Do you understand? Animal fucking patterns. Supply and demand zones. I get it. I get it, man. I get it. I believed everything that came out in the book, and whatever I could get my hands on when I was 20, I bought it all. Hook, line, and sinker, man. I was believing all that bullshit. But it's frustrating. It's so fucking frustrating when you sit down and you explain to people exactly what's going to happen, why it's going to happen, that you fucking authored it. Your fingerprints are all over it, and they can't recognize it every day, and it won't stop. They fucking resist it. It makes no sense. I don't understand. I don't understand the level of denial that some people have. And I want to commend you because you worked through that. Some of you did. Others said, you know what? I can see this. This is easy. I can recognize this is some shit here. I want to learn this. Excluding that group. Some of you came into this thinking, ICT's a scammer. He can't trade, and he won't be able to show you anything before it happens. Won't call it. Won't trade it. Won't use a live account. Won't do anything. We did a bucket list. We did a bucket list. All the fucking boxes are checked off. And they're still going to talk shit, but they're going to wait until I leave in November, though. You're going to see this big mountain of ICT deniers, like a wave come in. And I'll be quietly laughing my ass off. It's really important that you don't do things that distract yourself from what it is you're trying to do, what you're trying to learn. Don't give time to the devil. Steal, kill, and destroy. That's what he does. That's exactly what he does. And he was really good at it for my 20s. I was a mess in my 20s. Psychologically, emotionally, financially, it was a roller coaster. And I wish I had someone like this right here talking to me just like this. I wouldn't have been offended. Oh, you're using language. I wish I wouldn't have had this playing when my kids are around. Don't fucking play my fucking live streams. Don't ever fucking play my Twitter spaces ever in an earshot of your children. I'm unfiltered here. I'm not proud of how I deliver all the time. But I am live. I don't have a way of editing it out. But I would love to have someone like me put my fucking ass in my proper mindset, put their fucking foot in my ass and say, this is what you're supposed to be doing. Stop fucking doing that. Because I kept doing that shit thinking it was going to give me a different result. I wasn't doing it hard enough. I wasn't studying hard enough. I didn't do enough trades with it yet. Bullshit. It's flawed from the beginning. Some of you will work through this and you'll think back and think, wow, this took a whole lot more time than I expected. But I'm fucking glad I did it. I'm so glad that I did it. And as hard as it feels, and as long as it feels for you to get there right now, if you're on that side of the curve and you haven't found yourself yet, you haven't found your model, you haven't found your consistency yet, you're ripe for someone to swoop in and scare the shit out of you so you don't do any more work towards it. Either talk you out of trading entirely or entice you to look at some horseshit you got to pay for. What's more insulting? Quitting something you started working for but didn't do everything until you got to it, or falling victim to some asshole that's going to come in and distract you, sell you something that you have to pay for now, and then lose money doing that. That's insult to injury. I have the receipts, folks. I have the profitable students. It's not just one company they're showing themselves in, multiple. The stuff works. I don't need to do those things. You don't need to see any more of it. to know that it's real. What are you going to do with it? What's your definition of success? Where do you see that? Is it a dollar amount? Is it a lifestyle status? How many cars you drive? What you drive? What you park on? Your parking pad? I'm trying to figure out why you would park exotic sports cars like that outside, not inside of a garage. That don't make any damn sense to me. I mean, a pickup truck, I get that. SUV, I get that. But your pride and joy, your crown jewels of your fleet of cars, why would you, if you're making a lot of money, why don't you just buy a house that has garage space to put those really nice cars inside of it? Especially in places where you can have hail damage come down and wreck your shit in 10 minutes. Gone. It's over. Your shit's totaled out. But success is going to be widely determined based on right now, if you're young, your impulsive desires. I didn't have that when I first started. And when I started making money, then I started thinking, wow, I really want the nice stuff. I want to have yachts. I want to have my own helicopter. At one time, I wanted to go through helicopter flight school, and I wanted my own helicopter. That was a goal for me. And then I was told, don't fly no more. So I'm not flying no more. I'm not going up there. Okay, so I know some of you are going to be like, who told you? The one guy that you want to listen to. Let's put it that way. So I don't pursue that anymore. But as a 50-year-old man, that I don't look 51. I'm looking at myself in the mirror right now, and this is probably going to sound arrogant, but I don't look like I'm 50. I don't sound like a 51-year-old man. I talk like a 50-year-old man to some of you younger cats, though. You got this buddy-duddy mindset about your ICT. But I'm an old hat. And people like us, at this age, we're cut from a different cloth. We're Generation X. We don't give a fuck. We'll tell you you're full of shit right to your fucking face. And that's just the way it is. We didn't have all the protections and coddling that the generations today have had. And I want to kind of like leave you with these thoughts here. As a 51-year-old man, I've done just about everything I'd ever want to do. As a trader, as a businessman, as an influencer. That's one area where I didn't do very well. I let my imbalances take over a lot of times and showed my ass many times. Entertaining for some of you, most of you probably, but embarrassing if I'm going to be honest. But that's me. I can't pull it back in. I can't change what I've done in the past to try to garner a crowd or slap the shit out of somebody that talked and shit and didn't want to do anything afterwards. But I can tell you this. I had my niece here, I guess the last 4 days. And I'm wrestling with whether or not I want to try to convince my wife into adopting her. It's my wife's sister's daughter. She's a beautiful little girl. She's bipolar too. And her father, she doesn't know him. And she asked me a question. She's, Uncle Mike, does money make you happy? And I closed the refrigerator door and turned around to her. I said, I want to make sure I understand what you just asked me. Think about what it is you're asking me and then ask me again. She goes, are you happy because you have all this money and all this stuff? I said, no. That's not why I'm happy. I will be happy, the happiest I've ever been, the 11th of November of this year, because I will be available to my family unlike I've never been before. Now, don't misunderstand me. Money allows and affords you to do things that most people can't, that don't have it. But I was happy when I was broke. Before I even knew about trading, when I was married to my first wife, and if my wife now listens to this, I'm not upset about saying this because we've openly talked about these things before. When I married that girl, I had every intention of being with her the rest of my life. And she's the first person I laid down with. I lost my virginity to her November 20th at 2 o'clock in the morning. I snuck in her parents' house, literally laying in the bed naked, and her mother came in, grabbed shoes. I know she locked eyes dead on with me. And she was like, oh shit, what do I do with this? I ain't saying nothing. This is pretending I didn't see him. And I did not get scared. I did not get scared and run up out of there when I had a chance to. I was a teenage boy. And I knew that I wanted to be with that girl the rest of my life. And had she not left, I'd be with her today. I was happy then. Broke. Going through the motions of going through school. I wanted to be a computer science major and be a systems analyst. Trading was not in the cards. It wasn't even discussed because my uncle had pressed on me at 14 and 15 and 16. Be a trader, be a trader. And I felt like he was pushing me into something like a dad would push their son into their alma mater. Hey, son, I want you to go to my college. Come on, follow my footsteps. That's got to be a lot of pressure. And even though I didn't go through that with my real dad, with sports or anything like that, I kind of did that stuff with my own kids. Be a trader, be a trader, be a trader, be a trader, Look at what I'm doing. Look at what I just paid for. Look what I'm doing. Where are we at? Look at this vacation. Look what I'm driving. Look where I can take you. Look what I can afford to do. You won't be able to do it with a job. You're going to have to do this. You're going to have to do that. And I failed. And the only other recourse I had was work hardening. That's what got me to it. Working menial fucking jobs, working with people that don't fucking care about you. They don't care about you. They don't give a fuck about your fucking family. They just assume throw your ass out on the curb when it makes them more money. And I saw that many times in the jobs I had. And when I really needed something, I needed time to do something with a family member that needed to be done. And I said, listen, I have to have this time off. Well, if you don't come in, you're fired. Fuck you. I quit. Don't put me in a situation where I got to choose my family or anything else. And that's why I'm telling you in November, I'm fucking off of this shit. I am happy to put down my role as inner circle trader. Nobody fucking pushed me out of here. Nobody beat my ass, embarrassed me, shamed me, and I went home with my fucking toys. I'm doing it because I want to do it. I'm happy that I'm doing it. If I never take another trade the rest of my life, highly doubtful, I would be happy. I don't need to do that. As a 51-year-old man, if I lost everything, folks, if I lost every bit of it, World Economic Forum comes in, United Nations steps in, World Health Organization steps in, and does everything I've been telling you they're going to do. And my money ain't accessible to me anymore. And yours ain't either. I'm not scared. I'm not worried. Because I've been broke before. This country boy can fucking survive. I'm not in need of this luxe lifestyle. I enjoy it. I love having it for my family. But if the Lord says, I'm taking it away now. Yes, Father. It's yours anyway. I'm just the custodial of it right now. Some of you aren't prepared to think like that. That's happiness. Having your family know that you chose them over everything you've been doing your entire life. Calling it happiness. What I have been doing is pursuing something I'm tired of chasing. I've mentioned it several times when I talk about it, either in the videos I put on my YouTube channel, and you hear me get emotional, and I cry, because I'm human. I feel pain, I feel regret, I feel loss, remorse, wishing I would have did more with my family when I didn't, chasing money. I'm not going to be able to fix the hurt and the hole by losing my grandfather. And some of you listen to that shit and you say, well, he gets on there and talks about his stuff, he's a weak man. You're a bitch. Because I can tell you how I feel, and I can share how I feel, and I feel good about it, because it means I'm human, and my feelings and my emotions towards that man, that's my father role, that figure that stepped in as a father for me when nobody was able to do so. I miss him, and I wish he could see who I am today, what I stand for, what I've done for all of you, how I spend my time investing in all of you, trying to convince you to care at least as much as I do about your success.